Hello everyone, if there's anybody here yet. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. This was a spur of the moment, Buddy says hello, of course, always on time. Spur of the moment live stream. It's going to be a rant live stream, more than likely. Usually I wouldn't do this type of live stream. However, I feel like if I don't do it right away, I will, I'll eventually get over it, and it'll just keep happening, and I'm really tired of it. So, that's, if you don't want to hear me bitch and moan and complain, then you don't have to stay. But that's what this is going to be about. Sorry, I muted myself because Buddy seems to be on a rant as well. And nobody wants to listen to that. I don't. So, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I'm not going to waste any time, even if there's nobody here. I see there's a few viewers. If you've been following me, and if you've been in the other channels and in the chats, you will know that I've been being censored left and right for simply voicing my opinion on these other channels. Now, I personally do not think I've been disrespectful. I think I've just been a lot more transparent than I pretty much have been the entire time, because I was too worried about, hurting other people's feelings or anybody that's been affected by this case. And believe it or not, even myself, it sucks having your, fingers pointed out, calling you crazy and a conspiracy theorist all the time. But that's how society works. Again, the term conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorist is just a way to discredit people who think critically and ask questions. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should be doing that, no matter if it's in true crime or just in general in life. So, oh, very funny, Swamp Lover. Hello. No, you don't have to stay if you don't want to hear me rant and complain. You might be the only one here. So, that's okay. People can watch the replay. But yeah, so I have been, okay, buddy, gotta love him. Okay. See, even Buddy's censoring me, my own rooster. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so I've been, since day one, I've always been on these other channels, whether I was a moderator, volunteered to be a moderator, or just to voice my opinion about the case, because I know a lot about the case, because I've been covering it, pretty much since the beginning. Not from the very, very beginning, but well over 2 years now. So, I do know quite a bit about the case, if not just as much as anybody else. I have dove into that discovery just as much as anybody else. Just because I don't go over the discovery over and over and over and over again, like some of these other channel creators, it doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about or that I don't know anything about the case. Not saying that that's what anybody's implying, but I just wanted to say that. It's not like I just do live streams. I've made several upload videos over the past 2 years. So, but my point is, I don't know why the chat's not coming up, though. That really bothers me. 1 second. Not really sure. Anyway, Hey, Capri. So, I've been in these chat rooms on these other channels, or in the chats on these other channels, for a while now, and again, for the past 2 years, I've been nothing but respectful, and like I said earlier, I've done everything to be respectful, and still try to get my theory out there without pissing people off and offending anybody that's been affected by this case. However, I realized over time that being respectful, unfortunately, was getting myself nowhere, and it was also getting my viewers nowhere. People would come into my live streams and be new and not know what the hell I was talking about because I was worried about offending people. So I was, not as transparent as I should be, or I was worried about triggering the algorithms. And again, I would speak in code and have to reword everything. And I'm sure it was really annoying for you guys and anybody else that came into my chat and had no idea what I was talking about. They probably did think I was crazy, or do think I'm crazy. But again, that was being respectful, and not being transparent was getting me nowhere. No one. It wasn't getting anybody anywhere. Hey, happiness. So, especially in the last couple of months, I've been much more transparent. I haven't been trying to speak in code as much. I've just been, it's to the point where, again, it's not getting us anywhere. And I know I keep saying that. I sound repetitive, but it's really not. So I have been more transparent, especially with my theory. I should be able to go into any chat room in the true crime community and voice my opinions on the case. And I should be able to voice my theory. It doesn't matter if I'm a channel creator. I'm a viewer just like anybody else. So why is it that I don't see any of these other channel creators, or any of these other moderators of these channels, telling any of the other viewers who are not channel creators to that they have to say "in my opinion" after every single time they say something, or every time they say something? Because if that were the case, we would be seeing a lot more "in my opinion" after everything. But they don't. Why does it seem like it's only me? And maybe it's not, but it sure seems that way. Why am I being censored left and right? And why am I being told that I have to say "in my opinion" afterwards? Why? Because it doesn't match that specific channel creator's theory? Or they think it's disrespectful to the family, which I'll get into in a moment. Speaking of disrespectful. And it's not just, and it's the moderators of these channels that I've supported. I've shared their videos and said, hey, come check out this channel. They're doing a great job. Because that's what we should be doing. We should be supporting each other instead of censoring each other. If everyone wants to get to the truth of this case, then why am I being censored? Why is anybody that speaks out and voices their opinion, if it doesn't match their theory, they get blocked or timed out? And I think people are confusing me being more transparent with being disrespectful. I don't think I'm being disrespectful. I'm being forward, and I'm being transparent in these chat rooms. If there's someone on panel that's saying that, Nate's security camera doesn't record 24/7, and if I disagree with that, I'm going to say that I disagree with that statement. That's not being disrespectful, and especially in true crime, where supposedly, the majority of people are trying to get to the facts, right? Or find the evidence in the case. So if everybody just agrees with everybody, then how does that work? It's going to be very difficult to come to a conclusion or get the facts if you're not allowed to disagree with someone that's on someone's panel. And I don't know everything. I'm not like, I'm not sitting here pretending to know everything about the case and everything. But again, I have done just as much research as anybody else. I've also made videos on the research I've done to back up what I'm saying. So I'm not just like pulling this out of nowhere. I'm not just going to these chat rooms to just disagree with people because I think I'm better than them or because I know everything. Usually I don't usually speak up. I don't usually speak up unless I'm confident in what I'm saying. And if I've done my research, which I have. So not only am I getting blocked by these channel creators who I've supported, some for 2 years, some just only the past year. And the funny thing is they hardly any of them come into my chats and support me. Ever. Okay? And if they did, I definitely wouldn't be censoring them for simply not agreeing with me. Because that's not what I'm about. Hey Alex, hey Mark. Sorry, I'm going to try and pay attention to the chat, but like I said, when I get on my rants, it's difficult. Hey, Fed Up with the Setup. Love the name. Hey, Christine. So again, being censored by these channel creators and also their moderators. And now there seems to be this whole thing with this power trip going with a lot of these moderators. Like they get this wrench and they think that they have the power to do whatever they want, right? They don't like what you have to say, we're going to block you. We're going to mute you. And apparently being transparent is being disrespectful. Again, I think people are confusing me being transparent and fed up with being censored everywhere I go. And I'm not trying to say, oh, poor me, because I know it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to people all the time. But I feel singled out. And now I'm becoming the bad person because I'm being transparent and because I don't, and because, don't take my kindness, don't take advantage of my kindness, okay? And for me being respectful over the past 2 years, over 2 years. I'm not going to let people walk all over me just because I am respectful. And the minute that I stick up for myself and say, why am I being censored left and right? Because you don't agree with what I'm saying. I'm being disrespectful. I'm the bad person. Having an opinion that doesn't match yours is not being disrespectful. What are people doing here in true crime if they don't want to hear all sides and all theories? What's the point? If all these other channel creators they seem to have all the answers apparently, even though they, in my opinion, they don't have any. Again, I'm the only one that's giving some sort of explanation for all these unanswered questions. Everybody just has theories. And to be honest, I don't even want to say my theory anymore because I think I've given enough, provided enough evidence to support my theory. Not just, oh, I think this happened, or I think that happened, or I think this person did it, or I think that person did it. So why should I have to say in other chat rooms, in my opinion, when nobody else has to do that? I don't see these other channel creators and these moderators saying, oh, so-and-so in the chat or this viewer in the chat, you're being disrespectful. You need to say, in my opinion, afterwards. Because that's okay, right? Why does adding my opinion, in my opinion, afterwards make everything okay? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out this chat box thing so you guys don't have a blank screen to stare at. Hey, Hard Eyes. Hey, Cynical Sam. Hi, Melissa. Melissa, I'm gonna make you a moderator, okay? I mean, don't feel obligated to moderate or anything. I just want to make you a moderator so that you can post your channel in the chat anytime you want. You don't need to ask. And any of my moderators too, if there's any channel creators who you guys are familiar with, please don't hesitate to post their links in the chat. And Alex as well. Okay. Again, I don't know what's going on with the chat, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. You guys are just gonna have to stare at my cartoon face. So to answer your question, Alex, I don't know if you're familiar with my theory on the case, or how much of it you're aware of. But my theory, essentially, in a nutshell, there's a lot more to it than this, but in a nutshell, the Chris Watts case was orchestrated by our government, whatever you want to call them, shadow government, whatever. It was orchestrated to push multiple agendas onto the public. And I know a lot of people are not gonna, like, when they first hear that, they're gonna go, "What are you talking about? It was orchestrated." That's why I've been covering this for over 2 years now. And again, providing my evidence and information that I've learned over the years to support my conclusion on this case, if that makes sense. I mean, there's so much to it that it'd be hard to go over completely now. If somebody wants to maybe fill Alex in a nutshell, in a nutgate, just kidding. That would be wonderful. Again, I don't normally do these kind of streams because I don't want people to think that they're like getting to me or anything, but it's the point where I'm literally fed up. I'm fed up with being censored everywhere I go. And yeah, do I have a channel to voice my opinion? I sure do. But again, I should be able to voice my opinion anywhere else, just like anybody else. So, as I was saying earlier, not only are these channel creators who I've supported fully since day one are censoring me, but also they're moderators. And there's one in particular, there's several of them, but there's one in particular that seems to be, has always been a moderator on multiple channels, who has just been censoring me left and right. Again, I'm not here to name any names. That's not important. I'm just here to make a point. Hey, Raina. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Veronica. Hope for peace. Thanks for being here. So one of the reasons why I'm being censored is because I don't believe that anybody in this case died. As offensive as that may seem, I do have, again, I feel like I've shown enough evidence to support my theory on that. So apparently, you're not allowed to say that no one died in this case on any other channels. But it's okay for them to say that Chris didn't kill anybody, which I've been saying for over 2 years now. Maybe not as transparent in the beginning, but especially over the last few months, I've been saying that I don't believe Chris Watts killed anybody. Now, I feel like he didn't kill anybody for a different reason based off of my theory. So tell me, why is it okay for these other channel creators and other people in the true crime community to say, I don't think Chris killed anyone, but when I say it, I'm being offensive or I'm a terrible person and I get censored? What's the difference between when I say it and someone else says it? I mean, aren't we pretty much coming to the somewhat same conclusion here? If a lot of people think that Chris didn't kill anybody? But nope, when I say it, that's disrespectful. Well, isn't it disrespectful when these other channel creators and other people say it to the families? Because the Ruseks clearly, based off what they've told us many times, that there's no conspiracy. Law enforcement did a fantastic job. The one that's guilty is behind bars. Stop talking about the case. Chris killed everyone. Okay? So when these other channel creators are also saying that Chris didn't kill anyone, isn't that being disrespectful to the Ruseks? Again, this is just to prove a point. I mean, someone tell me how that makes sense. Why is it when I say it, it's disrespectful to the families, but when somebody else says it, it's not? And just because I've been respectful and haven't been as transparent, and I'm just now speaking out and like I should have been doing this whole time, but because I'm being more transparent, I've fallen off the rail. That's what someone told me today. I've fallen off the rail. Apparently, my cheese has fallen off my cracker. Or whatever Nicole Kessinger says, right? Yeah, that's what I was told today. For simply voicing my theory. How would these other channel creators feel if they went to every channel they went to try to have a voice? That channel creator was blocking them, or one of their moderators was censoring them, saying, hey, you can't say this in the case, or you can only say some of your theory. And tell me if you're not going to be a little bit frustrated for being censored everywhere you go. And I'm not over exaggerating when I say everywhere I go. There's literally one channel that I'm not blocked from still. That I go to. I'm not blocked from every single true crime channel. I don't watch everybody. But the ones that I've gone to consistently, there's one channel that hasn't censored me partially or fully. And I'm still not as transparent on that channel because I respect this channel creator. Just like I did the other ones until I was censored. But again, why is it okay for them to say that Chris killed no one, but it's not okay for me? Why is it okay for these other channel creators and for any viewers to say that Nicole Kessinger is a murderer? Or that she was an accomplice to murder? Trust me, I don't like Nicole Kessinger just as much as anybody else, okay? I mean, I don't have disdain for the woman. I don't have tunnel vision like, radar on Nicole Kessinger, like she's guilty. That's why, again, I'm able to see this case for what it really is, because I don't have a biased opinion towards anything in this case. I don't have empathy, unfortunately, for the victims, because with my theory, there are no victims. Yeah, YouTube, I said it. Come after me. I don't care. Okay? There's zero evidence to prove that. And if people don't want to hear that, then that's fine. But again, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. I have provided, in my opinion, more than enough evidence to support my theory. So what about Nicole Kessinger? As far as we know, all she's guilty of, and let's be real, I mean, you can sit here and tell me, oh, well, she lied to police, she did this, she did that. I get it, okay? But the only thing that woman, as of now, is guilty of is having an affair with a married man. And we don't even know if that's true, which I don't think it is. Because it was orchestrated. It was staged. And we've all been duped. Even me. For a while. So what about Nicole Kessinger being accused for 2.5 years of murder? With no evidence to back up these claims at all. But that's all part of the psyop, you guys. They want you to think that Nicole Kessinger was involved. That's why they only give us part of the information. That's why they cherry pick the information that they give us in the discovery. Why do you think that one of the only internet searches they showed us of hers out of 3 months, which they should have gone further back than that, was, can cops trace text messages? They want us to think that Nicole Kessinger is involved. They know that the true crime community is going to pick out the discovery with a fine-tooth comb. Okay? I get it. I get why everybody thinks it's a cover-up. I get why they're noticing so many inconsistencies. But it's done that way on purpose. To distract. So that people bury their heads in the discovery. And look up Nicole Kessinger's information. And Nicole Atkinson. And Troy McCoy. And yada, yada, yada. And yada. Like... But I mean... People are literally accusing this woman of murder. And I'm not even saying that she murdered or was an accomplice to murder. But I'm the bad person. I'm the disrespectful person. What about Troy McCoy? Troy McCoy's been accused of murder. What about Jimbo? What about these other people involved that are being accused literally of murder? And that's not disrespectful? Again, I don't think anybody involved in this case is innocent. But I definitely don't think that anybody murdered anybody. This is just to, again, make a point. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Eddie. And then, it's like, I was told earlier today that, I've, out of all the channels, Megan, I've given you a voice on my channel. And I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate this channel creator giving me a voice, allowing me to come up on their panel. But I didn't truly have a voice. Because I was told beforehand, as well as during, not to go there. So if someone tells me that I can voice my opinion on their channel and then tells me not to go there when they know that, and prevents me from saying my entire theory, that's still censorship. So it's like, oh, hey, I gave you a voice, but just a partial voice. Or you can only say this part of your theory, Megan. Or you have to say, in my opinion, afterwards every time. Well, thanks, but no thanks. I don't feel like being partially censored either. And again, I would never do that or allow one of my moderators to, and they know that too, that I don't agree with censorship unless someone is completely just being obnoxious and a troll. But if any other channel creator came into my chat, which they don't, they never do, or if they watched any of my videos, they might have, or other live streams, they might know and respect my theory a little bit more. Instead of just going, oh, she just believes it's a psyop, and that's it. No, there's a lot more to it than that. And again, I've provided enough evidence to support my theory. Hey, Justice. Oh yeah, this might not be the best live stream to lay down to go to sleep to. I'm a little heated right now, but so yeah, so it's like, oh, you can come to my channel, but you can't say this and you can't say that because it's disrespectful to the family, or it's disrespect, or you can't have a difference of opinion to my guest on panel because that's disrespectful, even though we're here to get to the facts, right? And because I finally stick up for myself after being transparent, I'm the crazy one. I've fallen off the rail. I don't know how many times I've said in chat rooms over and over and over again and answered questions that a lot of people have, like, what can we do? Obviously, DA Rourke is corrupt. What can we do about it? Nothing. You can't do anything about it. Do you know how many times I've put in the chat, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012 made it legal for the mainstream media and the U.S. government to push propaganda and lie to the public, whether that be to make up a insignificant little story about a cat on your local news, or whether that be orchestrating an entire homicide case to push multiple agendas. Even if everybody woke up and knew what was up with this case, and we all made a fuss about it, and we all got our pitchforks and stormed DA Rourke's office, there's nothing that we can do about it, okay? Nothing. They can legally do it with no liability. You know how many people respond to that comment that I put in the chat about the Smith-Mundt Act? 0. Maybe 1. So if they really wanted the truth about this case, you know what they would do after I put that in the chat? They would go and they would look up that Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012, and maybe they'll get their answer. But people don't do that. They just want to hear what their favorite channel creator has to say because they sound convincing, or because they're telling them what they want to hear. Oh yeah, Nicole Kessinger, she's guilty. She's gonna get her polygraph test, and she's gonna rot in prison for the rest of her life because she's a homewrecker. Again, I'm not here to tell everybody what they want to hear. And it seems to me like the majority of people in the true crime community don't care about facts. They don't care about evidence. They want to hear the juiciest gossip. Or they want the ending to their own narrative. If they think Nicole Kessinger is guilty and they have so much hatred for her, do you think that they're really going to listen to anything else or any other theories? No. They're going to listen to someone tell them that Nicole Kessinger is going to go down. So that's all they care about, right? Because they have emotions involved in this case. You're going to miss a lot of facts and a lot of evidence when you have tunnel vision and when you have hatred towards someone specific, whether it be Chris or Kessinger or Nicole Atkinson, whoever, okay? The majority of people in true crime are thinking with their emotions, and that's just not logical to me. It's really not. Hey, Kelsey. Just like, this is the only example I can think of. But when you're a detective and you walk into a homicide scene, right, or a murder scene, and you see it's a woman and a child that was murdered, and if they have any emotions or feelings towards that, whether they're going to have a biased opinion working on that case, from a professional standpoint, what they need to do is they need to step down, tell their superior that, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to truly do my job, my best work on this case, because having a wife and kids, I don't think that I'm the best for it. So I think I should step down, because they're going to miss a lot of evidence and facts when you bring emotions involved. So it's just the fact that a lot of these channel creators and again, a lot of people in the true crime community are using their emotions and trying to say that they're true crime sleuths. Say that 5 times fast. And then they're here for the truth. I'm sorry, but if you have emotions involved again, and you have any biased opinion towards anybody in the case, how are you going to get this to the facts? How are you going to listen to all the other theories when you just want your own conclusion? And my theory also means that if any of these other channel creators or anybody else came to it, said agreed with me and said, "Oh yeah, you're right, Megan," or not even you're right, but you make valid points, and I think you have provided a lot of evidence to support your theory. They're not going to admit to that. What are they going to have to talk about anymore? I'm only talking about Chris Watts still because I'm trying to wake people up to the deception. Hey, Octavia. Hey, States of the United. If you want to continue to be duped, then don't listen to me. That's fine. If you want to cry every night over a case that's fake, that's on you. I'm trying to prevent that. Okay? Trying to prevent these people from being able to continue to dupe us over and over and over again. So I'd like someone to explain to me how it's okay for one person to say that Chris Watts didn't kill anyone, but it's not okay for me to say that Chris Watts didn't kill anyone. How is that not offensive to the Watts as well? Because apparently, based off of what they're saying and their beliefs, is that their son's rotting in prison. You're saying you're going to mess with their heads and say that Chris Watts didn't kill anybody? And that there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accomplices? And they met at the Batcave? I mean, I'm sorry. I am trying to be respectful, but you're talking... People think my theory is crazy and impossible. I have heard it all. Trust me. But I'm not going to just sit back. If you want to censor me from your channel, fine. Again, that's what I have my channel for. But I'm not going to sit back and not just let it, give it some time to let me cool down and then just let people keep doing it to me. I'm not going to just sit back and let them just do that to me. Sorry. Not here to say, again, boo-hoo me, poor me. But we already have to worry about the censorship from YouTube and these platforms that I'm talking about. And now I have to worry about being censored from what I thought were my fellow true crime, whatever, enthusiasts. It is, Capri. It is. That's all a part of the psyop. It causes confusion. It causes division. It causes chaos. How dare you talk bad about Shanann? When you leave your daughter's Facebook account open for the whole world to see, you don't think that people are going to scrutinize every little thing about her? Don't leave your daughter's Facebook account open or public. That might not happen, but they did that on purpose because they wanted people to pick apart Shanann and everything and her being the victim. And how dare you say that she's a bad mother? It's all a part of the social experiment. Yes, Octavia, I had to go on my... This is pathetic, okay? 3 times now, I've had to go on my alternate account that I have, that I think I created because I got blocked from one of the bigger channels that we're all familiar with a long time ago. And that's why I created it. So 3 times now, just in the past couple weeks, I've had to go onto my alternate account, go into the chat, and ask the person who timed me out and to own up to it so that I know. Because if you're going to time me out and if you're going to censor me, then I want to know who's doing it. And you better own up to it. And that person did. And they've been doing it on every channel. But not just the moderators. Another channel creator who I was a moderator for again, over 2 years, that I've always supported, always been respectful, but now I'm not allowed to say PSYOP in their chat. Why? Why am I not allowed to? Because that's disrespectful? Even though I have evidence to support what I'm saying? Why? I shouldn't have to resort to that. But I'm tired of it. Call me crazy. Call me disrespectful. I don't care. But I'm going to stick up for myself when I continue to keep being censored and keep being timed out and keep being blocked by these other, true crime enthusiasts and channel creators who claim that they just want the truth. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just want what you believe. You just want to tell all your viewers what they want to hear. Well, I'm not here to do that. Again. Name any of the channels, Octavia, that I go to. I'm censored. I've been blocked. Yeah, Lisa, it's very possible. That's what they do. Why do you think people are so infatuated with this case? Why do you think people can't walk away from it? Why do you think it pulls people in? Because that's all a part of the PSYOP. If everybody knew it was a PSYOP, then it wouldn't be very good and it wouldn't be very successful and we wouldn't be here 3 years later still talking about it. But that's how they work, and I've seen it before. Multiple times with different tragic events, and that's what I'm trying to bring to everyone's attention. Why would anybody want to continue to keep being duped and lied to? Do we know that DA Rourke is corrupt? Yes. We do. And I'm giving you a reason as to why he is. I'm giving you reasons as to why he can get away with something like this, and why Weld County can, and why law enforcement can. Everybody else just keeps saying, oh, it's a cover-up, it's a cover-up, it's a cover-up, and we're getting nowhere. They're getting nowhere. Yeah, Lisa, they do. And I made a video on that where there's a higher up oil company executive talking about how they have a program that literally collects data. So anything that you say on social media, if you talk about your husband, if you talk about your kids, if you talk about your dirty laundry, if you talk about anything, it's being documented all the time. When you talk about your illnesses, when you talk just anything, I can't believe how much people share about their personal lives on social media. It's crazy to me. It's always being documented. They have programs to literally collect data. They're going to use this Watts case that's still going on for their next social experiment, for their next PSYOP, for their next distraction, for their next agenda pushing. Not Justice. Any of the channels that you've seen me in, I've been blocked. I've been censored, whether it be from the channel creator or from one of their moderators. I got timed out yesterday because I said, why are so many people infatuated with this Summer Wells case? There are hundreds of missing children out there. Who's advocating for them? Who is searching for them? But yet there's 4,000 people in a true crime chat about Summer Wells. I'm not saying that Summer Wells isn't important. I'm not. Any missing child, finding them is important. But why just her? Why is that the only thing that people are talking about? Find Summer Wells. Find Summer Wells. How about all the other freaking missing children in this world? Why? Because they don't get mainstream media attention? So what? These cases get this mainstream media attention for a reason, you guys. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why there's inconsistencies. There's a reason why Dawn and Candace and all this information is being released about Mexican mafia. It's so ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it is. It is a circus. It's a distraction, and people just believe it. It boggles my mind. It really does. I mean, this whole recording with like whoever Mary is and Candace, it's cringeworthy listening to it. Trying to listen to it. Crying about how they're taking Dawn, but Summer's supposedly missing. And now the Mexican mafia is involved. I mean, it's movie worthy. B-movie. I mean, it's literally a circus. And why would any of these family members, these victims, family members, engage with anybody in the true crime community? And because clearly they're not trying to find Summer. They're just causing chaos and confusion. And they're clearly pushing an agenda because they're going after people on social media by saying, that people on social media are spreading rumors about the case and they're causing difficulty for law enforcement and they're making it impossible to find Summer with all the disinformation. Look out for stuff like that, you guys. They're clearly pushing an agenda. Multiple news outlets have said it, that people are spreading disinformation online, on social media. You have your crisis actor lady who's saying, "Oh, Candace, I'm so sorry. I love you, Candace." No tears. And she's saying, "I shouldn't have listened to people on social media." Please. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody that does fall for this, but I mean, it's time to wake up. It really is. Stop believing everything that you're told. I mean, really, Mexican mafia? Are you freaking kidding me? If the Mexican mafia is involved, do you think they're really going to be talking about it on social media? Oh, yeah, Mary, I think the Mexican mafia, I think Dawn owed the Mexican mafia 80 grand, and so they took Summer. It's totally, like, B-movie, like, script. Because if that were me, and I thought that the Mexican mafia was involved, clearly they're probably not nice people, right? I've never met one. But we can assume that they're probably not nice people. And you really think that going on social media with a recording to Mary is the smartest thing to do? It's all a distraction, you guys. But my point is I got censored for saying, why aren't other people covering all the other missing children's cases? Why just Summer? And apparently that's disrespectful for what those channel creators are doing, because they're spending their time looking for Summer. No, they're not. They're talking about the family members. Or they're talking to the family members who are clearly causing a distraction and to confuse everybody. Hey, Cheshire Cat. Hey, Callie. Yeah, exactly. Telephone, Lisa. And if I come out and I'm saying, hey, I think that the true crime community is based off of lies, and I think we're being duped left and right, time and time again from these from these high profile mainstream cases that seem to get so much media attention, that's pretty much, I guess, discrediting any other channel creator that covers true crime. And that's not what I'm trying to do. But again, I'm not here to worry about offending anybody. I'm here to point out that I think that the true crime community is based off of lies. Is murder real? Absolutely. But not how they're saying it is in these high profile murder cases that they're clearly pushing agendas with. Yeah, right, Octavia? Even the Mexican Mafia wouldn't censor me, okay? But apparently I'm being censored for having a difference of opinion. And again, it's like, oh, yeah, I gave you a voice on my channel. You gave me half of a voice. And yes, do I appreciate you letting me have some sort of voice? But again, what's the point if I can't even fully express myself? And then these other channel creators have the audacity to address me in the chat when they blocked me from their channel. I'm not trying to be like, immature about it and then not say hello back, but why would I even engage? Why would I even respond to that? Like, you're going to block me on your channel because I had a difference of opinion, because I said that this is a psyop. And then you're going to address me in another chat? Why? What's the purpose of that? Hey, Tatum. Yeah, that's what they do, Tatum. That's what people do. They point fingers. They say that you're disrespectful when you're clearly asking relevant questions. There's hundreds of missing children, and there's hundreds of people that are murdered at the hands of their loved ones all the time. Okay? And there's corruption everywhere. And who's advocating for them? Who's, posting video after video after video 3 years later about, and I did a tribute video on the 13th to all the others who don't get that attention that Bella and Cece and Shanann have. Even if the case was real, okay? And I was wrong about my theory. That's just for a moment. Even if the case is real, why is one death any more important than any other death? It breaks my heart for those other children who actually lost their lives, okay? And I do have evidence again to support my theory as to why I don't think that anybody died in this case. And that's not being disrespectful. So if anybody wants to keep believing all these other rumors and all this, keep going through the discovery over and over and over again, they can do it until the cows come home. Nothing is ever going to come from it. And they can keep promising you all these promises that the case is still open and, we're going to get Rourke. No, you're not. No, you're not. You can't do a damn thing about the corruption because of that Smith Modernization Act of 2012. That's how many times I've said it, that it rolls off of my tongue. And I'll keep saying it until hopefully people will go, oh, maybe I should look up the Smith Modernization Act. They probably won't, but they should. How you doing, life? I get it's not an easy task to wake people up. Again, that's why these psyops are so successful. They make them so tragic that people, their emotion, especially people that are very emotional, and they let their emotions get to them and tragic events or whatever situations. That's why they're so successful, because they make them so tragic, and people just think with their emotions. They don't think logically. They don't think, hey, maybe what Megan's saying makes sense. And I can assure you, if and when you're able to see this case for what it really is, everything will make so much more sense. All these unanswered questions, all these gaps in the narrative are going to make so much sense. Like, why wasn't Nicole Kessinger investigated? Why was she treated like a victim and not a suspect? Why didn't they secure the crime scene? Why did they let everybody prance around in it? Why didn't they handle evidence from Survey 319 properly? Why did Chris bother to kill his entire family to be with his mistress, but then gave law enforcement breadcrumbs leading it straight to the bodies? Why did he take the bodies out the front, supposedly, and when the sun's about to come up right in front of his house? Why did he leave a rake handle and 2 trash bags? Why did he allow them to do a search of his house and not get a search warrant? Why did they, and then the dog handlers, why did he agree to a polygraph test? Why did he confess after only 4 hours of interrogation? Why was it open and shut? Why was nothing by the books? Because they don't have to. That's the thing. It's made up. It's not real life. And just because you see it on body camera or body cam footage, it doesn't make it real. Look at that body cam footage of them handling evidence. Like, really look at it. Don't just go, oh, it's on body cam footage, it must be real. It's police officers. They're wearing police uniforms and they have dirt from Survey 319, so it must be real. No, it doesn't have to be. Look at the way they handle the evidence. They'll just brush the dirt off the table there, Officer Perez. Hold your dirty, bacteria-ridden cell phone with gloves on, because that makes a difference, and then handle the evidence and don't put new gloves on. It's ridiculous, but the majority of people will watch that body cam footage and they'll believe it's true. Why? Because they watched it on body cam footage? Because it came from law enforcement or the mainstream media? No. Use your eyeballs that God gave you, or whatever creator. Just use your eyeballs. Use common sense. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Yeah, doing life my way. That's why I'm on a rant right now, because I continue to be blocked from channel to channel to channel for simply voicing my opinion. And apparently I'm just causing chaos in the true crime community with all my nonsense. But it's just because I'm tired of it and I'm fed up. If anybody else continued to get censored from anywhere they go, they would be fed up too. And again, I swear if I have to hear one more time that Rourke is corrupt and what can we do about it? One, I don't see anybody doing anything about it. There's many people that cover this case in Colorado. Go wait for Rourke to come out of his office and hound him with questions. I did a live stream on it. Call the bar association. It's not called the bar association, but call them. Give the 30-minute interview and complain to them why you think that Rourke is corrupt. Don't send an email. It's going to get deleted. Don't write a letter. It's going to get thrown away. They all sleep in the same bed together. Again, even if you did storm Rourke's office or you made a big fuss about it, it doesn't matter because they can legally lie to us with zero liability. Because of that bill that was passed thanks to Obama, which repelled them making it illegal for them to push propaganda on us, even though they were doing it illegally anyways prior to that bill being passed. But now they can legally do it and they are not liable and we can't get upset. So if people want to continue to keep being duped and lied to, then don't listen to me. I don't care. Don't listen to the information I give you. Keep censoring me. That's fine. Keep crying night after night overnight over 2 families that you don't even know, who you've never met, but you've only been told a story about. Okay? And I'm not making fun of anybody who that just means that people have have feelings, that they have empathy. Then that's not a bad thing. But why would you want to continue to be subjected to that over and over and over again with these cases? Why would you let a story that or a narrative that you heard on social media, like, let it affect your life like that? It's crazy to me. But that's how these psyops work. They push fear onto people. They pull at people's heartstrings. So for the people that don't want to be duped anymore and don't want to be subjected to lies from our government, then they'll hear me out. Yeah, that is why. That's a good point, Hard Eyes. Yeah, it is. I didn't want to say it, but I mean, I said it before. I didn't want to say it again, but that's why, exactly. Because what would they have to talk about, right? If we came to the conclusion that this whole case is fake, it's orchestrated to push multiple agendas, and that's why nothing doesn't add up, what would they have to talk about? This Watts case still brings in views for some channels. Hey, Crystal. Bye, Crystal. I mean, again, you can, all these channel creators, they can keep theorizing. They can find all the evidence they want to try to prove that. Okay, let's say that, I'm going to go here too. Let's say that Nicole Kessinger really did kill everybody, right? And there's some cover up. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they can legally do it. Whether it be orchestrating and making up the entire thing or a complete 100% cover up to cover their asses. They can legally do it. So you can huff and puff and moan about whatever you want about Rourke and Weld County. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. And I'm not being negative, but I'm telling you now, they can legally do it. Okay? I don't care how much evidence you provide or how much inconsistencies in the case you point out, it's going to get you nowhere. The only thing that's going to change anything is if people wake up and stop falling for it. Think critically, ask questions. And if you're being censored and timed out, that's your answer right there. There's no reason why anybody should be censored, especially in the true crime community, or anywhere for that matter, but especially in the true crime community, for simply having a difference of opinion. And I'm sorry, but I don't care if you talk to the family. I don't care if you're friends with the Watts. I don't care if you're friends with the Ruseks. I look at evidence. Or the lack thereof. I look at patterns. I look at and see what I've learned over the years about these orchestrated events. So all this hearsay nonsense doesn't matter to me. If Cindy Watts called me right now and she bawled her eyes out, I'm sorry, with all due respect. It's still hearsay. And I'd like to see that evidence, Mark. He could be a battery operated dog. I wouldn't put it past them. You never know. Dieter could be fake as well. No, Dieter's probably the only real thing in this case, to be honest with you. Thank you, Hard Eyes, for posting my DLive link. Hey, Kristen in Seattle. So that being said, I think I've ranted long enough. going on an hour now. Thank you everyone for hearing me out. I don't like doing these live streams. I really don't. But again, if I just, if I don't do it now and speak my mind, I'll just get over it and it'll just continue to keep happening. And I just don't agree with that. So, I'm not here to tell you who you should and should not listen to. Obviously, think for yourselves. But again, if you are being censored or you're getting called crazy or people are pointing fingers at you for simply having a different opinion or speaking up, then you have your answer. That's a huge red flag. Hey, Dreamcatcher. Hey, Dub. So with that being said, I'm going to go now. Thank everyone for being here, and I will go back and watch the chat replay. I always do. So to see what you guys were saying as I was ranting. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Thank you to my moderators, and I'll see you guys next time.